Live, local, late breaking. This is Channel 2 Action News Night Beat. Coverage you can count on.
An innocent man locked in jail for 11 months is now taking action against the city.
And tonight, police are cracking down on a growing drug problem in Atlanta. Good evening, I'm Ashley Gooden.
And I'm James Johnson. A pure form of ecstasy is spreading across the metro Atlanta area, according to city police. The drug is better known by its street name, Molly. Channel 2's Andrew James joins us from APD headquarters, where police are investigating the growing popularity of this drug.
Now, police know the drug is growing in popularity in the inner city area of Atlanta, but they express fear that people don't know the harsh effects of using this drug.
It's going to eat your body.
This is police video of a drug raid in northwest Atlanta. The raid confiscated various drugs with Molly included. This is a photo of a bag full of the granular drug that is being seen in the form of gel capsules. Atlanta Police Narcotics Commander Lieutenant Rick Mason says the drug is exploding across the city.
The amount of Molly in Atlanta is exploding. The geographical boundaries are expanding.
Matt Batir is an undercover officer for the City of Atlanta Police Narcotics Unit and says he now sees the drug anywhere and everywhere.
Now we basically find it everywhere.
The drug itself, Lieutenant Mason says, is just another form of meth. It's corrosive, and Batir has seen firsthand from his undercover work what the drug can do to the body.
You can just basically see them kind of go downhill, you know, from when you first started dealing with them 6 months previously. They're sharper, they're more with it, and then towards the end of the investigation, it's almost like they're spaced out all the time.
Lieutenant Mason says that the APD is hard at work cracking down on Molly use around the city. Those two suspects in that drug raid video are behind bars tonight. Live at APD headquarters, Andrew James, Channel 2 Action News.
Police also want to warn students to stay clear of the drug. They claim they're seeing Molly more on college campuses in and around the metro Atlanta area.
Tonight, a local pharmacy raided by agents is at the center of a new investigation. Only Channel 2 Action News was there as the West End Pharmacy in southwest Atlanta was raided last week. Now, one man says someone stole his identity and used it to fill prescriptions at the same pharmacy.
I wouldn't think, something like this would ever happen to me. What do I do? I'm scared.
This afternoon, we know the name of a Brookhaven man shot and killed outside a Sandy Springs nightclub. 38-year-old Paul Santos died in a shooting early this morning in a parking lot behind Tableau 2 nightclub on Roswell Road. Police emailed us this picture of a car leaving the area just after the shooting. Investigators need help identifying the driver.
Now to a developing story. Atlanta police are looking for a man they say opened fire early Sunday morning near the Georgia State campus. Channel 2's Devyn Mullis found out how students and parents are reacting.
I heard over 15 shots.
Terrence Matthews, a student at Georgia State University, was walking on campus early Sunday morning when he heard shots fired.
I thought it was like an AK-47 or something, but my friends, they assumed that it was a firecracker.
According to police, the gunfire was the result of a brawl between two men at the corner of Piedmont and Armstrong Street, close to the Georgia State campus.
Now you can see the shattered glass where these bullets pierced this Georgia State parking deck. 9 panes were broken in this shooting that left one man shot in the shoulder.
Police say the gunman sped away in a car. This shooting leaves students and parents worried for their safety.
I see this now and I want bulletproof glass. I don't feel like that's secure at all.
It is traumatizing. Safety-wise, you don't feel safe anymore.
Atlanta police are still investigating the scene and sending extra patrols in the area. The injured man is recovering at Grady Hospital in Atlanta. Devyn Mullis, Channel 2 Action News.
Police are using the surrounding surveillance cameras to try to identify the gunman. If you have any information about this shooting, please call Crime Stoppers at 404-577-TIPS. That's 404-577-8477.
A grand jury indicted the owner of an AC repair company for intentionally damaging a customer's unit. A Sandy Springs homeowner says she called Terrell Heating and Air for a quote on a new unit for her insurance. She says James Terrell used a blowtorch on the AC to better his chances of collecting money from insurance.
I asked him what he was doing, and he was shocked and turned around and said, "I want to make sure this is dead. I've worked with these insurance companies before."
The homeowner says Terrell stalked and threatened her after the confrontation. Sandy Springs police arrested Terrell for criminal damage to property and reckless conduct.
A former U.S. Army soldier and innocent man was thrown in jail and sent to a mental institution for nearly a year. His lawyers say they plan to sue local, state, and federal officials. Channel 2's investigative reporter Beatrice Rosen is live at Fulton County Jail with what she's uncovered.
We are here in the Sally Port at the Fulton County Jail, where the wrong guy spent 11 months in here for somebody else's charges.
I wouldn't want anybody to be in my shoes, sir.
Lawyers for Kenneth Williams, a former U.S. Army soldier, say they plan to sue local, state, and federal officials after their innocent client was thrown in jail and then sent to a mental institution for roughly 4 of those months, all for somebody else's charges.
My client was there protesting his innocence, protesting that he was not the right person, and that was actually being used against him in the state's battle to force medicate him.
Like a nightmare to me, you know, especially being locked up for something that you know you didn't do.
His lawyers, John and Ashley Merchant, say Atlanta police arrested him on January 4th, 2011, on a misdemeanor trespass charge, which was later dismissed. But 3 days later, police arrested another man with a possible alias of Kenneth Williams for a felony heroin charge.
Very few people understood until almost a year later that they had the wrong person in custody.
The lawyers say that someone in the criminal justice system mixed up identifying information for the 2 men. At one point, a Kenneth Williams mugshot showed the profile views of 2 different men. The real Kenneth Williams was released after a judge eventually ordered a fingerprint check.
I feel very fortunate that the judge was listening. I feel very fortunate that the doctors and the social workers at Georgia Regional were listening.
The lawyer says they've served Fulton County, Atlanta, and state officials with notices they must file before a lawsuit, but Williams says he doesn't believe justice will ever be served. In Fulton County, Beatrice Rosen, Channel 2 Action News.
Within the past 15 minutes, we've posted this story on our Facebook page. People are weighing in on the wrongful arrest, and you can as well. Just go to www.facebook.com/WSB-TV. The number of black inmates in Georgia prisons hit a 25-year low in 2013. Data from the Georgia Department of Corrections shows the number of black men sent to prison in the last 5 years dropped by 19%. A GBI official says that drop could be from the improving economy, more drug courts, and a decline in the use of crack cocaine.
Animal activists say a shelter in Jonesboro is shutting them out and operating in secret. Channel 2's reporter Macey found out the owner's response to these complaints and the next steps they plan on taking.
Local animal rescue groups say that the Clayton County Animal Shelter is refusing to work with them and killing animals that could have been saved.
They put down 22 dogs and 1 cat last week. There was no advance warning to that.
Local rescue groups are saying that they can't get back here to help take pictures to get the dogs adopted, but police are saying that this is not an issue.
So now these dogs have no voice to the outside world. Without being able to take pictures, it just prevents us, it really hinders us from being able to rescue dogs.
Last week, the organization Partners for Pets was removed after 3 years on site. Captain Andre Jackson says it's because they refused to follow the shelter's new procedure.
They did not sign the memorandum of understanding, and that's the reason why they're not here today.
One said confidentiality clause. There's no way with us being advocates we can sign that. This is the same agreement we have refused to sign for over a year and a half.
Jackson says that they recently killed so many dogs because they could not get other shelters to take the dogs in. It was their last resort.
That's accurate due to our overcapacity. Our efforts in order to reach out to the community were extended, exhausted. We did as much as we can.
These rescue groups say that the shelter needs to be taken over by a private company and not run by the police department. Shelters in both Fulton and DeKalb counties currently use private companies.
There's no opportunity. You don't know who's being put down, and we certainly don't want to see anything done in secret.
Macey Lauren, Channel 2 Action News.
Following these complaints, Clayton County Police Chief Greg Porter says he's asked his department to contact the GBI to further investigate.
We've had lots of rain lately, but can we expect more?
Well, meteorologist Maiya Stevenson is in Severe Weather Center 2 with a look at your week ahead.
Well, we were dealing with the rain today, and that is because we are so humid. You know, we're in the southeastern Georgia. We are so close to the Gulf of Mexico, so we get this southerly wind flow to bring all that humid air to the metro Atlanta area. And as you can see here, the humidity is at 84%, so we're right there. It's feeling very muggy outside, producing these rain showers. And today we're at a high of 87. Right now we're at 77 degrees. So as we look at the humidity forecast, the good news is we're going to get a break from the humid conditions. You can see the pink, that's that moist air, and as this cold front starts to move through, it's going to bring more of a northerly wind flow into the metro Atlanta area. So instead of the pinks, we're going to see more of the comfortable oranges and yellows. So I know a few of you will be interested in that break in the humid weather. So as we look at the hour-by-hour forecast for your Tuesday, you can see here, starting in the morning, we're going to be pretty clear, but as we move into the afternoon, you're going to see the rain chances actually start to increase as the cold front moves through the area. It's going to be primarily centered around the central part of the metro Atlanta area, but anywhere in the viewing area is pretty much fair game for a shower. And that's going to continue into 6 p.m. and going to taper off as we move into the night as the daytime heating starts to diminish. So we're looking at lows for tomorrow morning. It's going to be about average at 71 there, 72 in Atlanta, 1 degree off, and highs for tomorrow we're going to be about average as well. 87 for Atlanta. We're 2 degrees off of the average at 89 degrees. So again, for tonight, we're going to be at a low of 72 degrees. Some showers may be associated with that cold front that's moving through the area. And for tomorrow, we're going to be at a high of 87 degrees, partly cloudy skies with, again, a chance of showers. And as we look at the 5-day forecast, you can see here we're going to get a break from the rain for tomorrow. I mean, on Wednesday, actually, we're going to see a break from the rain, and we're going to see that the temperatures ranging in the upper 80s until Saturday. With your weekend always in view, Saturday's still going to be a clear day, but we can see the rain return for your Sunday with some isolated afternoon thunderstorms with a high of 88 degrees.
The recent influx of unaccompanied minors over the U.S. border has found its way to Georgia. What parents are doing to locate their unaccompanied children.
Plus, a new tourist attraction focused on civil rights is opening downtown, what this means for the city of Atlanta.
And after the break, the hotbed in Atlanta for illegal drug trade and its effects on the local community.
Welcome back. I'm Beatrice Rosen.
And I'm Devyn Mullis.
The Bluff has been the #1 open-air drug market in the South for over 30 years, and it is only 5 minutes away from the Georgia Dome.
Channel 2's Taylor Saxton is live in the Bluff with why it still exists after 30 years and what Atlanta police plan to do about it.
Abandoned houses on every corner, cars with suburban tags in and out of this area known as the Bluff for heroin. Question is, why is it still a major drug market after 30 years, and what's being done about it?
To pan out to see what I face, to see what I'm doing when I get off of work and I get out of my car. I don't think that someone's going to try to sell me heroin from there, but what if a heroin addict pops out of there and they're trying to rob me? This is what I'm more fearful of, is the repercussions of it.
Keep going. Priscilla Joseph says she recently moved into the Bluff, what experts call the heroin capital of the South.
I see a lot of traffic and I see a lot of things that are happening. What I see walking up and down the street, like there was a man that I just had to scream out of the door, I'm worried about you, because I know that he was doing heroin in that house. And you could see him coming in regular intervals.
Outsiders visit the Bluff to buy heroin.
People are coming from all around metro Atlanta purchasing illegal drugs from that community. The heroin addicts are getting younger and younger. They look more like suburban America than ever before.
We watched an Atlanta police undercover team find a dealer to sell them heroin in less than 5 minutes.
I would venture to say that you don't have to know someone to buy heroin in that area.
I'm going forward right down the ground. All right, go get it, bring it right back. All right.
Everyone knows it. It's the best kept non-secret in Atlanta. So how come nothing's being done about it? It's absolutely worth saving. Why wouldn't we invest as a community? You know what I mean? That's something worth having.
We're vetting having some great conversations with the Blank Foundation as well as the Atlanta Police Foundation, and talking about providing a security initiative to stabilize Vine City and the English Avenue community. A security plan that would include everything from cameras to license plate readers to building dwelling and homes for law enforcement to live there with take-home vehicles. We've got to stabilize that community.
Chief Turner says that with building the Falcon Stadium near the Bluff and with city leaders' commitment, he says he believes we will see a transformation. Reporting from the Bluff, Taylor Saxton, Channel 2 Action News.
Tomorrow, a legislative study committee will begin working on a long-term plan to improve traffic in the metro area. Lawmakers want input during a series of public meetings to improve transportation and infrastructure, improvements that would ultimately bring more jobs to Georgia. Right now, Georgia ranks second to last among the states in per capita spending on transportation.
Destruction is currently underway in Atlanta. Space for the new Falcons Stadium is being cleared, but that spells demolition for the historic Friendship Baptist Church. Channel 2's Jonathan Olens is at the current wrecking where he has witnessed mixed emotions.
As you can see behind me, the demolition is well underway at the site that was once the historic Friendship Baptist Church to make room for the new Atlanta Falcons Stadium. And all of this comes with much controversy and many mixed emotions.
Crews have been working all day demolishing the historic church, and for many in the area, today's events mark a somber moment.
It's heartbreaking. I think it's awful, awful, awful. I mean, the history that's here.
Emmanuel McCall, the interim pastor for the church, emphasized the impact that the church has had on people.
You think of the people whose lives have been touched and changed. This, for them, was a symbol of hope.
To put the demolition in perspective,
what it took years and years and years to build, I've watched torn down in a matter of hours, a couple of hours.
State Senator Vincent Fort emphasized the historical importance the church has played.
The things that occurred in this place, spawned great educational institutions, great movements.
Some of the church members who were here today got a chance to keep some of the bricks of the building, and as the 130-year-old building comes down in one day. Reporting in downtown Atlanta, Jonathan Olens, Channel 2 Action News.
The stadium's construction is also bringing havoc for Beyonce and Jay-Z fans. Channel 2's James Johnson found the construction of the new stadium has limited parking spaces for tonight's concert and is creating delays throughout Atlanta's major roads.
Construction is underway right next to the Georgia Dome, and Atlanta Mayor Kasim Reed has advice for the thousands expected to attend Tuesday night's concert.
I mean, the concert for tonight is sold out, so you can expect the kind of traffic that comes with a sold-out event at the Georgia Dome. Biggest suggestion I have is that just folks take MARTA. That is the best way to reach the Georgia Dome tonight, or to come to one of our downtown hotels, stay at one of them, and then walk over to the Georgia Dome.
A third of on-site parking for the Georgia Dome is gone, making it harder for Jay-Z and Beyonce fans to find a place to park. Captain Ken Skinner is urging fans to take MARTA or reserve a parking space.
First sold-out event since construction for the new stadium. We've lost over 1,500 parking spots. A lot of roads have changed. There's been road closures and other things with traffic.
And with a third of on-site parking gone here, some are speculating what that will do to the cost of a parking space right here in this private lot.
Off-site parking, which is back the bluff. You know what the bluff is? The bluff is back that way. Even though it's a rough area, it's going to be sold $50 a piece. You know, people when they come in, they don't have no choice but to park there and walk.
James Johnson, Channel 2 Action News.
Traffic and demolition aren't the only problems surrounding the construction. People outraged with the financing of the two major stadium projects are taking their complaints to Georgia's high courts. This group of activists gathered near the Capitol today. They're upset with the public money used for the Braves and Falcons stadiums. Judges in both Fulton and Cobb counties validated the public bonds.
They just went over the heads of the people, and we're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars of public money going to finance these new ventures.
The group says it's looking at a proposed new bill that would require a voter referendum on public financing for projects this size. And here are more details on both projects. Workers are clearing land for the new Braves ballpark. It's set to open in 2017. Last week, News Chopper 2 flew over heavy equipment on the property at Circle 75 Parkway in Cobb County. And the state approved the final design last week for the new Falcons Stadium. It's also set to open in 2017 in downtown Atlanta.
More development in Atlanta. The National Center for Civil and Human Rights is now open to the public. Visitors can expect to learn about civil rights history, as well as relive some of the events that activists went through during the civil rights movement. Channel 2's Ashley Gooden was at the grand opening and spoke with Mayor Kasim Reed, as well as Congressman John Lewis, about what the center will bring to Atlanta.
Hundreds gathered here together today for the grand opening of this magnificent structure behind me, the Center for Civil and Human Rights. The ceremony, ending with the outburst of multicolored streamers, included a performance by an uplifting choir and wise words by local dignitaries of the great things the center will do for the community and abroad.
Aquarium, which has more than 1 million visitors. We're by the World of Coca-Cola, which has more than 1 million visitors. And because of the way that the Center for Civil and Human Rights was funded, it's going to continue into all of the tomorrows.
Well, this day means everything to me. It is almost unbelievable, almost unreal.
One of the exhibits includes a model lunch counter with headphones where visitors can experience what civil rights activists went through at sit-ins.
You can only imagine what those people went through. I don't think I could have done that.
Also, a model of a bus covered with mugshots of the Freedom Riders arrested and thrown into jail.
I went on the Freedom Ride as a boy, but when I left Parchman Prison, I was a man.
The center had 600 visitors today and is projected to have had 400,000 by the end of this year. Reporting from downtown Atlanta, I'm Ashley Gooden.
Tickets to tour the center range from $10 to $15 and can be purchased at the front entrance. For more information about the center, you can visit civilandhumanrights.org.
Well, it has been a pretty dry summer so far, but apparently that's all about to change.
Meteorologist Chickvara has more from Severe Weather Center 2.
Well, no showers or storms to worry about again today. It was another beautiful afternoon. A few high clouds have moved in, but man, was it pleasant. We reached 86 degrees, currently at 83 degrees, and look at that humidity, 29%, unheard of in the month of July. So hope you all got out and enjoyed it because things are set to change. You see this pattern we have now. This is upper levels about 10,000 feet, and this is a reading of the moisture content up there. And you see these greens, they're indicative of a much more moist, more wet air that will be moving over us with Friday and into Saturday. You see out with the oranges, which is dry air, and in with much more moisture. So back to what we normally feel like, that hot and sticky conditions. Let me take you hour by through Friday. As you can see, we start the day with lots of clouds. You can see most of northern Georgia has cloud cover, and that will be the same throughout the rest of the day. See, by noon, there's a few showers possibly over there in Gainesville down towards Athens, but again, lots of clouds. We're only going to give it a 20% chance of storms for tomorrow. The better chance will be ahead in the weekend, but as you can see, a chance of showers over in Rome, up towards Blairsville, possibly the North Georgia mountains, even especially as we go toward later in the evening. You see over there Gainesville and Blairsville, a good chance of a rain shower. Now your lows tomorrow not as cool as today. We reached a record low of 61 this morning, and that was the coolest we have been since 1965. So tomorrow not as cool in Atlanta. You can see Blairsville, a cool spot up there at 61 degrees, 68 in Atlanta. Warming up decently. We'll still be below our average of 89 degrees. You can see 86 down there in LaGrange, 85 for us here in Atlanta. So it will be a comfortable day, but a cloudy one at that. Let me take you hour by hour into Saturday, where we do expect there to be some more rain. You see, we start off with good rain coverage up here in parts of extreme northwest Georgia, but that will increase. As you can see, great coverage from Carrollton up to Calhoun over to Athens. And as we continue, you can see here these yellows indicate more heavy rain. We don't expect any strong thunderstorms, but definitely a decent amount of rainfall as we head into your evening outlook, possibly doing dinner. You might not want to grill out because there is a very, very good chance of rain, and even into the late evening hours by 11 o'clock. You can still over here, Blairsville and Gainesville have a decent chance of a rain shower. Tonight, though, we don't have to worry about the rain. It won't be as cool, as I mentioned, 68 degrees and partly to mostly cloudy. Then tomorrow, we do have that slight chance, about a 20% chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm. We're looking at 85 degrees, so still a little below average. And then as we look at the 5-day forecast, you can see those rain chances really increasing. Saturday looks like the best bet at 70%, but Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, all a 60% chance of rain. Look at those highs in the low to mid 80s.
Are you a target of phone scams? Find out how you can prevent these automated annoyances from calling you.
Plus, there's still hope for the Atlanta Braves, how this weekend series against the Nationals turned out, and what's next as the postseason nears.
A group of missionaries from Liberia are headed back to the U.S. The precautions health officials are taking against the Ebola virus, next.
Back to Channel 2 Action News, I'm Macey Lauren.
And I'm Taylor Saxton.
Developing in the Ebola virus outbreak, health officials are preparing to quarantine a group of missionaries returning to the U.S. from Liberia. They are members of the same Charlotte-based organization as Ebola patient Nancy Reipel. She is currently in isolation at Emory University Hospital. Doctors there are also treating Dr. Kent Brantley.
Officials have not said when the group will arrive. Health officials say the quarantine is a precaution. The families of undocumented children are seeking help from local organizations to help locate their children that crossed the U.S. border alone. Channel 2's Byron Jenkins joins us in the newsroom with what may be the cause of this surge in unaccompanied minors entering the U.S. Byron?
That's right, Taylor. Many of those children are from families right here in Metro Atlanta. An attorney at the Latin American Association says she has families walking through her door every day looking for help in locating their children.
It's not an overnight phenomenon, but we've definitely been seeing increases for a while.
Damon says misinformation has led these parents to risk the dangers in sending their children across the border alone.
So there's definitely misinformation, and unfortunately I think coyotes and guides who are bringing these children from Central America to the U.S. capitalize on that misinformation and that lack of understanding.
Families from Central American countries are willing to risk the dangers of sending sometimes very young boys and girls to cross the border alone because of poverty, lack of opportunities, and an increase in violence in these countries.
And I think that speaks to a level of desperation and violence in the sending countries that has reached new levels.
The Consul General of El Salvador says she sees many families who believe that taking these risks could lead to a better life for their children in the United States.
I just think it's important to think in the safety of the child. Well, we trying to inform exactly what is the situation, trying to tell them, that is in the hands of the United States.
You're taking a great risk by bringing your children here, and there's no guarantees that they can remain there.
Both women we talked to agree that parents from Central American countries should not send their children to the U.S. because there's just no guarantee that they can remain.
Since this is a national problem, Byron, what is the government doing in response?
Well, following this increase in unaccompanied minors entering the United States, President Obama held a meeting at the White House with leaders from Central American countries to discuss a solution. We'll keep you updated on the results of this meeting on WSB-TV.com. Reporting live from the newsroom, Byron Jenkins, Channel 2 Action News.
Now to the crisis in the Middle East. There is a new 72-hour ceasefire in place in Gaza. Israel has withdrawn all ground troops from Gaza. The truce was brokered by Egypt. Both sides are expected to enter negotiations in Cairo for a lasting arrangement to prevent future cross-border violence. No previous ceasefire in this conflict has lasted more than one day.
Email scams, also known as phishing, has gone beyond the internet. Channel 2's Vanessa tells us what voice phishing is and how you can prevent it from happening to you.
Hundreds of thousands of robocalls are made on a daily basis. But how aggressive can these calls get?
Their customers are getting hit like 300,000 times a day.
Robocalls are pre-recorded messages typically associated with telemarketing or political campaigns used to call businesses and individuals. We met up with Mustaq Ahmad and Matt Anthony at Georgia Tech's Information Security Center to ask how the Federal Trade Commission can solve this issue.
To get more interest in addressing this problem, they're doing a contest at the DEF CON conference in Las Vegas in about 2-3 weeks. The contest, as the press release says, is going to be setting up a honeypot. We're talking honeypot is a place where these people, fraudsters, show up by mistake because they don't know that the number they're calling is not a valid number.
According to Matt Anthony, these calls tend to attack immigrants.
And so they would also have the fear of deportation, that sort of thing. It's a typical tactic for them to find something that creates a sense of urgency for the caller so that they won't think about whether or not this is a legitimate call.
Vanessa Walls reporting for Channel 2 Action News.
The FTC does have a complaint portal that you can call to report these robocalls.
Drivers are getting a break at the pump. We're paying the lowest August average in 4 years. Metro Atlanta drivers are paying an average of $3.45 for a gallon of regular unleaded. That's 20 cents lower than we were paying a month ago. The national average is $3.51. Last month on 4th of July weekend, drivers paid the highest prices at the pump since 2008.
Here are your stocks for today. As the numbers settle, the Dow is up more than 16 points to 16,569. The NASDAQ also up today more than 30 points to close at 4,401.
Storms could be headed our way tonight.
Meteorologist Falicia has more from Severe Weather Center 2.
Hope everyone had a fabulous Wednesday. Right now, as you can see, we're dealing with nothing but a blue sky and nice, beautiful conditions with no terms of rain. But right now, we're sitting at 88 degrees. We were at 92 today as our high, so it's been hot, typical August. Humidity right now, 42%, nice, comfortable humidity. Now, right now, as you can see, nothing in terms of rain. And that's all thanks to this high pressure sitting on the Mississippi and Alabama border. And it's bringing in those dry, comfortable conditions for us. And that's nice to see. And it's rotating its way clockwise. And again, reasons why we're having this dry air. Now, we're going to take you for a humidity forecast. This is going to change by Friday. Now, for today and tomorrow, we saw nothing but comfortable and nice conditions with the yellows and oranges. But by Friday night, that tropical air is going to return once again, and that we're going to see more chances of rain for your Friday. Now, we're going to take you hour by hour again for your Thursday, because we're going to have this backdoor cold front move its way towards Atlanta, and it's going to be bringing in but nothing but nice, dry air. And it's going to be moving its way towards the southwest, and it's going to be beautiful conditions. Now for Friday, we're going to be dealing with the humidity because this front is going to turn into a warm front and push its way back up towards the north. Now for your low for tomorrow, we're going to be hitting about average with 69 here in Carrollton and 69 in Rome. Again, about the average of 71. Now for your high tomorrow, widespread 90s. Look, 93 here in Carrollton and Atlanta, and 96 here in Athens, and 95 in Eatonton. And even up in the mountains is going to be warm. We're going to be hitting 87 up there in Blairsville. Now, like we said, we're going to be dealing with some rain on Friday, so pay attention. So we're going to be dealing with nothing but clear skies here at 7 a.m. But this rain's going to start to develop here as we go on through the later evening hours. For 3 o'clock, we're going to see some of that rain start to appear. Then by 6 o'clock is when our heaviest chances for that rain to develop thanks to the daytime heating. Then if you have any plans for your 11 o'clock, as you can see, we're going to be dealing with tons of rain for much of the viewing area, mainly in the northeast part of Georgia. But bring an umbrella if you have any plans for your Friday night. Now tonight, mostly clear and warm. 73 degrees is your low for tonight, with maybe just a few clouds. Then for you tomorrow, we're going to see nothing but mostly sunny skies and a hot 93 degrees. Now for your 5-day forecast, as you can see, we're going to be dealing with 20% chance of that stray shower happening for tomorrow. Highest chance is going to be Friday with 60% chance of scattered storms. Temperatures are going to be decreasing in terms of your high. It's going to be moving its way from 93 for tomorrow all the way down to 86 by Monday. We're going to keep that chance of rain for showers on Saturday, Sunday for 40%. Monday will be 30% of that chance of rain.
It came close at this weekend's PGA Championship, how players raced to the finish and who came out on top.
And fans got their first look at the Falcons last Friday. What they can expect from the Falcons this season after the break.
Now we have a look at some local sports from Andrew James. Andrew, I don't know about you, but I'm so excited for the new football season.
And as you should be, Macey. It's already getting off for a great start for the Atlanta Falcons. Your home team, the Atlanta Falcons, have already improved from their 2013 preseason, which, last year was winless. With a 16-10 victory over Miami entering into the second week of play, it was a narrow victory for the Falcons, who still saw some key players out of the game. Roddy White was Matt Ryan's key target, with both Julio Jones and offseason acquisition Devyn Hester not in uniform. The running game was absent of Steven Jackson, with Jacquizz Rodgers getting the start and the lone Falcon rushing touchdown off this carry. The Falcons will be away from home this weekend, continuing preseason play in Houston. Now, it was a fight against the field and against time, but Rory McIlroy pulled out his second PGA Championship in Louisville, Kentucky this weekend. It was this shot on the par 5 10th. Rory took a fairway wood 20 yards left of the hole, but look, it catches the lip and rolls. A shot meant to be. It stops within just 7 yards of the hole. Rory would sink it for eagle, and following later bogeys from Mickelson and Fowler, he would take the lead. Rory would maintain par on the 18th and take his 4th major, still needing a Masters championship to complete his Grand Slam.
To win a 4th major here, to be one behind Phil, one behind Seve, level with Ernie, level with Raymond Floyd, I guess. I mean, I never thought I'd get this far at 25 years of age.
Second and third place finishes for Phil Mickelson and Ricky Fowler help their chances in joining Team USA in the Ryder Cup as Coach Tom Watson makes his decision before the Cup takes place in September. Now, Rory saw success with his fairway wood Sunday, and the Braves had some good looks from their wood as well, that being Alex Wood. Wood allowed a solo home run from Ian Desmond in the top of the 4th inning, but Justin Upton answered right back the very next inning with a solo shot to left. Wood would go on to strike out 12 as the Braves took the series from the division-leading Nationals, winning last night 3-1. Sunday night's win still puts the Braves 3.5 games behind the Nationals in the NL East. Now in the wild card race, the Braves sit 2 games back, looking at a tough 2-week schedule starting tonight with the Dodgers at home. And that wild card is really important for the Braves right now, as that's probably their only way they're getting into the postseason.
Wow, Atlanta's in for some great sports this summer.
Yeah, and I mean, I wouldn't be worried about the Braves. You know, they always come out on top. Love the Braves. So thank you, Andrew, and thank you for counting on Channel 2 Action News. Remember, our team never stops. We're constantly breaking and updating stories on WSB-TV.com and on our Facebook page.
We invite you to download our free news and weather apps on your smartphones and tablets. You can watch streaming video of our newscast. We'll see you again on Channel 2 Action News Night Beat at 11. Have a great evening.